We all have been there. That is how we got here, right? The uncertainty, the doubts, a key moment. We were facing the decision of our lives, embracing our future, enrolling in the English major. As the Association of Departments of English describes the English major, it involves the what, why, and how of English. The curriculum of the English major at the UCR provides a humanistic approach that aims for a well-rounded education that considers human beings as a whole and not only the academic field. It educates creative and critical professionals that develop linguistic and cultural skills to successfully integrate themselves into a globalized and industrialized world without losing their identity as Costa Ricans. Now, do we really know what it is to be an English major?
How to define it? That's interesting. I will say that we have like a philology degree in English.
Well, it would be like a student who focuses on the English language as a whole, meaning like the history and the mechanics, the structure of the language, like grammar and also literature. But I think that would be like too broad. I actually don't know. I cannot say what an English major is.
No.
In my opinion, an English major, as I would define it from the program that we take here, is actually a major in English linguistics, not necessarily just the English language. But I did not really get to understand that until I got to the master's level. Especially because many people seem to think that the English major is more similar to like Spanish philology, for example. But the problem is that for us to be able to hold a major in English philology, then we would need to study the languages that originated English, not just the current uses of the language. That's why I think that we could call it more like an English linguistics major, because of the fact that what we study are like the current ways in which the language works. And that is the definition of a linguistics program.
If the same English students do not know how to define it, how is their degree of belonging to the English major? In a survey carried out to 34 students, 100% acknowledged they really like the major and be willing to complete it. However, even though it has been recently accredited by Sistema Nacional de Acreditación de la Educación Superior, students still hold some negative perceptions about it. Therefore, we wondered, what aspects make English major students have negative perceptions about the major? How do they affect their identity as students? We identify 3 main negative perceptions that students may have during their academic life: high expectations, low expectations of the major, and 0 expectations of future jobs. Students' values and expectations tend to transform when they enroll in a major, and this shapes their identity in their academic life. However, in an early stage of their major, many students may face what the Westfield State University refers to a shock stage when they realize that the major does not offer what they expected. Particularly in the English major, many students enroll in it as a second choice. They expect it to be the famous trampoline that will open the doors to a new major.
Bueno, primeramente porque no sabía qué estudiar y entonces fue como así, como el último momento que voy a estudiar inglés porque es lo que me puede servir para después llevar otra carrera o como un trampolín para otras cosas.
Porque a mí me habían recomendado escoger algo fácil para pasarme la carrera que quería. Bueno, no pensé que era fácil, sino es que a mí no me costaba en el cole, entonces me metía en inglés.
Others, in love with the language, choose it to improve their oral skills, ignoring the abilities of writing, analyzing literature, or developing a critical thinking. The unexpected skills may frustrate and even ruin the perception of what an English major was for those students.
No, en realidad no sabía cómo podía ser, pero sí, cuando uno llega y, bueno, más que uno viene de colegios públicos, ¿verdad? En los que el inglés es cero, y uno llega y uno sabe que, bueno, se da cuenta que uno tiene que tener algún nivel, aunque sea básico, para poder entrar, digamos, como para que le vaya bien en las carreras. Digamos, no es tan fácil como la gente piensa que es, como que, ay, sí, sé inglés y ya.
Hablar inglés y, no sé, con énfasis en traducción, pero lingüística y todo eso, me imaginaba.
Que la mayoría de gente piensa que es como ir a un instituto para aprender inglés, que ya que la gente viene, habla en grupitos y se va para la casa y que no tiene que hacer nada más.
Bueno, yo sí tengo varios amigos que es como, bueno, no, inglés es un curso ahí, patito, usted nada más tiene que ir, no estudia, no hace tareas, no hace nada de trabajo, es fácil, es como decía la otra muchacha, un curso así, cualquiera como en un instituto.
In fact, in the aforementioned survey, 15 out of 34 students considered the major rather difficult because they imagined that they were only going to learn a new language. For them, realizing of the holism of the major was shocking, and for a while they felt out of place and confused.
Both. Sometimes I feel frustrated because it's hard. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's hard. For me, they would have to be the writing courses, the composition. I'm not very good at writing. I'm better at speaking, so.
Los cursos orales, porque uno, digamos, ya viene como acostumbrado al colegio, pero en mi caso yo vengo de un colegio bilingüe, pero uno hablaba y tampoco, digamos, si hablaba más o menos, le decían así, habla bien, pero no era como que le decían la correcta pronunciación, le enseñaban los fonemas y todo eso. Entonces aquí uno llega y es como, ¿qué es todo eso? Estoy diciendo todo mal.
In that stage, no connection with the major is found, so instead of following the identity patterns which are, according to Westfield University, developments of clear educational and vocational goals, students wander without direction and miss the establishment of their identity. So, the question is, why are the English major's expectations so low if in the student's profile they're stated so clearly? Sometimes society and stereotypes still influence students' expectations of the major. Nevertheless, the opposite reaction may occur in other students. They expected so much more of the English major. According to the Oficina de Acreditación y Evaluación, the BE in English program consists of 137 credits, which include grammar, writing, oral, historical, and critical courses, and 4 tracks.
No enteramente. Porque digamos, la mayor parte de la carrera ustedes la pasan adquiriendo el segundo idioma. Pero cuando ya viene la parte de literatura, de historia o de conocimientos más profundos de cualquier idioma, como fonética, morfología, sintaxis, etcétera, 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 ahí yo siento que ando un poquito locos. Porque la única sintaxis, morfología y fonética que vieron fue nada más para aprender el idioma. Una persona alguna vez me habló de la carrera en inglés aquí, de que le hacían mucho énfasis a la pragmática en el área lingüística. Y yo no encuentro eso en el programa, pero ni al derecho ni al revés. Ni en el bachillerato, ni siquiera en los cursos de maestría.
They haven't fulfilled my expectations. Yes, there has been courses just such as linguistics that have been awful. I didn't learn anything from that course, or the courses related to oral communication. the courses, I think the worst ones are the oral courses. The oral courses are very like non-conversational.
Case, I would like to have more courses related to intercultural communication because, okay, this is an English major and we only have one course related to that.
Maybe writing would be good. We don't have that. Only like relevant courses you have to take outside the major. My idea here is to learn how to write properly and to express all your ideas like a native speaker. So creative writing would be an excellent idea for native speakers. Like native speakers have. So good for us to also have.
I think we need more literature because we have 2 panoramic courses of literature, but I don't know, for British literature, for example, it's too much. There's too much information that we don't study, and it should be at least 2 courses, like maybe American literature 1 and 2, British literature 1 and 2. We need some sort of history of the English language, not a history of like the literature, but how the language developed and things like that. I think that's important.
Yo siento que le hace falta un poquito más de lingüística para entender el inglés también como una tradición cultural, ¿verdad? Como un idioma que a lo largo del tiempo ha cambiado, que va a seguir cambiando, que tiene variantes regionales, que tiene variantes históricas.
If this English major is compared to the one in Brown University in the United States, for instance, differences in terms of structure and courses are evident. In this university, students may choose from a great variety of literature and writing courses. However, English is their native language, so the comparison is unfair. Plus, it does not cover the area of linguistics. In a more realistic comparison, the Universidad Autónoma de Madrid offers a program based on 240 credits. Additionally, students can choose to take courses in a 3rd language.
The major in Spain, I think was interesting about all the grammatics, semantics, rhetoric that it gives or provides for the students. But it's interesting that they also provide the students the option of having another language. We have French here, but they seem to provide a lot of other languages, so I think that's good.
Pero lo que es la lengua inglesa la agarran en todo sentido, no solamente a nivel literario, fonológico, lingüístico, histórico, o sea, es bastante profundo, además de que encima les meten un tercer idioma.
I have seen some programs in other countries, and they all have much more literature than we do, no matter if it's in Chile or if it's in España or whatever. They have like, I don't know, like 3 times more literature.
Moreover, in the same survey conducted to 34 English majors, 21 agreed that the major did not fulfill the expectations of what an English major should study. The biggest flaw that they found was in the few options of the tracks. Contrastingly, in terms of tracks, the University of North Carolina offers a broader variety of courses such as creative writing, film studies, language writing and rhetoric, literature, and teacher education. Are these tracks and the reinforcement of the ones that are already taught in here the solution to boost the degree of connection to the major?
Yes, there should be like, the tracks should be better. There should be like tracks related to interpretation maybe. For the ones that are in focus on literature, they should be like related to, related to the masters, but in the fact that we should have like more job opportunities in these tracks. I think it lacks that. Or whatever. I don't know, those things don't work. Like I'm taking the translation track, and I'm like, you don't really see vocabulary, you don't really see terms, you don't really see how to make I don't know.
I'm on the translation track. What I don't agree with is that after spending 4 or 5 years here, then we have to move to Universidad Nacional to take a master's degree, la maestría, and that's something that I don't agree with. And if you ask someone for an answer related to that, nobody knows that about it. So.
Bueno, sí, yo siento que les está haciendo falta un track en escritura, que podría ser no solamente de creative writing, sino los otros tipos de escritura, ¿verdad? Que es business writing, journalistic writing, por ejemplo, ¿verdad? Y que eso se trabaja con talleres. Y digamos, dentro de ese track también pueden meter lo que es cómo preparar scripts, guiones y filmmaking también. Ahí podría caber perfectamente.
Even though the UCR lacks more options for tracks and emphasis on courses related to creative writing and literature that are expected in an English major, this bachelor does provide all the linguistic, communicative, cultural, and literary bases. However, the biggest concern that joins all students together is the existentialist query: what am I going to do with my BA in English?
Ay, mi amor, qué bueno que te graduaste al fin. Ahora contame, papi, ¿cómo te vas a ganar los figuritos? ¿En qué vas a trabajar?
The uncertainty regarding their future career taints the dreams and pride that students have developed towards the major. Of the 34 students surveyed, 16 feel insecure about the job market because they believe that all the acquired skills will be wasted.
I feel totally uncertain. I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I don't want to be a professor. I don't want to work at a call center. And I don't like translation.
Next thing, I mean, it's either translation or to become a teacher. And if you ask most people, nobody wants to be a teacher. However, you need to work, and you will probably end up being a teacher.
What I don't expect is to end up working in a call center. I mean, you spend 4 or 5 years here, and after that, you end up working in a call center. I mean, come on, it sounds absurd. It's like a joke.
Bueno, yo les veo bastantes casos, porque en realidad una persona con solo el inglés hoy día o es profesor, o es traductor, o trabaja en un call center. Esas son, en realidad el inglés hoy día no es, en el mercado laboral no es algo que tenga un valor, es un instrumento, es instrumental. Usted necesita el inglés para trabajar.
60% of students feel that their major option for working after graduating would be in a call center. And to me, that honestly feels like a complete waste of 4 years in a university. Entirely.
According to the Oficina de Acreditación, English major students have a wide range of possibilities in the job market: translators, interpreters, professors, technical assistants, tour guides, advisors, literary critics, creative writers, journalists, and linguists. All of these jobs are included in the major's curriculum. Probably the opinion of former students of English-related careers will encourage them and fill them with optimism.
I'm the translator instructor, so I have to proofread your translations and prepare classes and everything. I translate and I proofread other documents. So I have to divide my day. The very first job on my own was as an interpreter, working as an interpreter in Guanacaste for the Leatherback Turtle Museum in Playa Grande.
Well, I have 2 jobs. I am a professor at Universidad Nacional, but most of the time I am here working as a freelance translator. And everything I learned during those years, I started to apply that in my first job as a translator, as an in-house translator. I got an interview for a publishing house and to work as an English-Spanish translator. I have worked as a proofreader of English documents. And believe me, there are opportunities also about that, because I know that there are engineers that speak good English, but the way they write is not good. So that's why we have to come and say, okay, I can complete this and I can do this for you.
I work as a translator and I've been eating I've been in the 12 years I've been working as a translator. I have no problem about it.
In my case, yes. It depends, right? If you want to work, because you have to think, there are in-house translators and there are freelance translators, right? If you are an in-house translator, you can have a good salary. But there are other translators, as an in-house translators, they are earning like maybe almost $2,000 per month. So it depends on the company you work, right? I think that most of them are earning around maybe from $1,000 to $1,200, more or less.
Most students who don't want to work in a call center, who are studying the major, believe that the only two other options that they have would be working in translation or teaching. And that's not really the case, because they can work as editors for magazines. There are many magazines here that require editors. There are also companies that require proofreaders and editors for their publications. Advertising agencies, even administration companies that need people who are proficient enough in English too.
Proofreaders, English teachers, document analysts, linguist consultants, technical writers, copy editors, copywriters, interpreters. I can continue, and it depends if you are, well, translators. You can combine a lot of the fields and use what you have learned in the BA in English. So there are a lot of things to do, just not translation or call centers.
As you could see, not everything is lost. The options are there. It is just a matter of looking for them. Underestimation, false expectations, and uncertainty of future jobs affect the identity of students towards their major, which results from the misconceptions about the student's profile, course outline, and job market.
I kind of did. I didn't really pay attention to it, and just like went for it. I think I have, but honestly I don't remember.
I didn't even know about the existence of that paper.
Therefore, ignorance and lack of awareness affect the student's identity and produce such misconceptions. So, who is responsible for this lack of information? The student or the school?
Probablemente el estudiante, porque es el que nos interesa. Bueno, igual yo no sé si la escuela hace algo como para dar a conocerlo mejor o qué, porque si solo hacen las ferias vocacionales, digamos que uno puede conocer algo y tampoco es como mucha la información que uno puede obtener.
I would say that it's more a problem with the orientation office, because they are not really, they're not getting real information about the program when they're before giving it to prospective students. So I think that is a big problem. The case of a cousin of mine who was interested in enrolling in the program, and when she got information from the orientation office, they said that the major was a major in English literature, not language, not translation, nothing at all, and that was information that she was getting from there.
Both students and the faculty are responsible for this lack of information. The school should promote the major more efficiently, and students should inform themselves. Even though the previous negative perceptions determine the minds of students, the majority feels identified and pleased with the English major. So what are we waiting for? Let's get down to business. Soon we will celebrate our brand new diploma.